Hello, it's Kristen from Life of Crafting, and I'm starting a new paper series with this beautiful paper. This is Stampin' Up's Whimsy and Wonder paper pack. And the colors in this, if you're not familiar, Stampin' Up does, oh god, I got a mosquito. They do these like color names, and they're all, I forget when you call it, when they both start with the same like sounding letter. So the colors that are in this is a Blushing Bride, which is like a smoky, it's a little bit gray of a pink. Then there's Crumb Cake, which is like a light brown. Mint Macaron, which is a light pink. Misty Moonlight, which is like this grayish blue, which I don't see. It's kind of like this one here. Mossy Meadow, which is the darker mossy green, and Polished Pink, which is this darker pink. So what's nice about that is I don't have to think about what color papers to use in the background. I don't need to think about what color inks, because everything in Stampin' Up's world coordinates together. So for me, I have quite a few of these colors from the different years that I've been doing this. So that aspect of it is taking out of the realm of having to figure out that. I will say I apologize in advance if you're hearing the TV, because Charlie Watts from the Rolling Stones died today, and me and my husband we are big fans. So he is watching some documentary upstairs, and it is quite loud. And then on top of that, I have a cat that's insisting he needs to come downstairs even after I open the door. He still doesn't come down. So we'll just say that, preface this whole thing with that. So to move forward, they have a stamp and a die that goes with this. Here's the catalog. This whole suite has, I did a haul video and showed you what I brought in, and here it is. They have this one called Whimsical Trees, and it has the matching dies. And I was really tempted to get this, but I'll be honest, I've kind of gotten to the point where I'm like, I gotta look at what I have in my stash, because, you know, we buy a lot of stuff. And I came across, I have this one that's Into the Pines, and I'm looking, and you start dissecting. This is like so similar with these trees. I think what they're doing here, just in my opinion, is that they're making this taller, thin tree because people are doing a lot of these slim line cards now, and I'm thinking they're probably trying to do some stuff to give those people that like those cards some options. But I'm thinking, you know what, I don't need to get this, because out of this there's really only 3 trees. You do get some ornaments, but I do have some hanging ornaments like that in a stamp set from last year that was like an envelope set, so I know I don't need those. And honestly, I think the ornaments are pretty close. So I'm gonna use this Into the Pines. There's and like I said, they had snowflakes. I mean, I got snowflakes. The ribbon, I don't even know if I'm going to use ribbon on this. So I think my idea on this is I'm just going to roll with this paper. I'm going to use this Into the Pines. And to give you an idea, some sketches I have here. There's the stamps. Some of them are 2 layers. Like this would add some snow onto this. This adds some snow onto this. Then I have a trio with adding some snow, and then there's a single with snows. So this is some snowfall. I think I have enough to work with here that I really don't need to go beyond this. And then they have some dies for these, which I really kind of like. You got some hillsides. These are some outlines for those 3. And then if I want to do it, it has ones that will cut like dimension into the tree. So I feel like this is going to be pretty much the main stamp set from this paper pack. But I went over in my haul video what these papers were, and they are just breathtakingly beautiful. There's a foiled. This is definitely like, there's like I said, there's some more detail you can find in my haul video, but this is a definite, like, I want to tear this page up. Like I want this to be the main focus. So this is a main focus one. There is some like candy cane stripes here, and the The back is just an overall polka dot. I don't necessarily care about this one. This is going in my whatever pile. Then we have the one with the gifts, and I'm just dissecting my thoughts as to how I'm going to start creating cards out of this. Definitely tearing this one up, and tearing up in my world means that, you know, I'm excited about it and can't wait to get into it. That's my word. So that's going in that pile. Love the trees. So we're tearing that one up to make as much as we can. And then we have the holly, definitely tearing that up. And then we have the snowflakes, and we're tearing that up. So almost every single one of these, so I had 5 prints. Every single one of these is like main focal paper here. So this is 5 different prints. So what I did was I went through all my card sketches. Like this is the one that's kind of like I don't care about. So I went through all my card sketches and I pulled out the sketches that have a lot of big paper as a focal point in there. This one I'm a little bit about, but a big area. This one's a big area. I'm thinking this may be a good one for the, actually this may not be a bad one for this, because then I can do, maybe that is a good one. I accidentally had a good thing there. I'm thinking this would probably be a good one, and instead of doing stars, do some snowflakes to go on this. I don't know, because it may be too busy with the snowflakes that are already on there. But I still think, like I said, there's a lot, that white area in the back would be the printed paper. So that's a good one to do. That is from Mojo Monday, sketch 550. Then I have one from Operation Right Home, and this was sketch 3. And this is the dark area here would be the printed paper. I don't necessarily like just this as a rectangle, but that would be a sentiment. And basically just something with 3 stars across the front. So this may be another good one, and I can just pull in 3 trees or something like that on the front. That's my thought there. This is one where they did 2 tones of paper with a strip. I'm thinking this may not be bad to just do the pink and the white as all one paper with a stripe, and then do something in the center with the like a tree or something like that. So that's that one. This is a sketch I was trying to use in my last one that I did with the Cozy Christmas, and I didn't have foundation die 7, so I used this as inspiration. I have die 7 or foundation die 7 now, so I'm thinking I may actually do this one. Really cute to get something iconic here, but a lot of that paper is showing. So that's going to be probably one. So far there's 4, okay, and here's a 5th. Again, this one, this like striped gray area would be the bigger focal point, and then you can get another focal point here. So I don't know, that may be like good for like something like that to be here. I'm gonna play with that because I don't know which one. So these are I have 5 prints, and it just worked out, and I have six sketches, but I'm not really feeling this one. So here goes. We're gonna just close our eyes and do an eeny, meeny, miny, mo, and that is on this one. So we put the rest of these aside. And, I'm kind of feeling this one here. So I just kind of have to think like, okay, like this one, what would I do in 3s? This may not be bad with this. And then 3, like if I have extra of the presents to add the pop of color. So I think I like that there with that one. So we're gonna put these 2 aside with that. Then I really think I was thinking this one with this, and I was thinking about doing this with the snowflakes, but now that I'm looking, there's so many snowflakes in here that if I add ones on top, I'm thinking it may get to be too much. But I do have some nice like white glitter paper, so I think I'm gonna stick with that. I think I'm gonna figure out how I'll get that working. And then, like I said, I kind of got these, and I'm thinking I'm kind of thinking this to this one, doing a strip there, and then maybe putting something in this. So this is, I'm thinking this one for this. And then I like this one. I want more of this showing. So this is going to be this one for that. And then I guess this is going to draw out to that. So I feel like I really want to start with this one. I think I'm just sticking this with this one for right now. Let's see how that works out. I don't know yet. So now I had some of the other sketches I printed out. They're all going away, which I'm probably going to get to them, but they'll be when I get more of the scraps. Like I said, I'm just starting with the big pieces to get started. So I'm going to end the video here. I will come back when I have a card done. And it's Kristen and I'm back. Here's what I've got so far, and I don't really like the sentiments. I'm going to find something different. I kind of just took a long, thin stamp and got it on my Stamparatus and just I kind of waved it out. It took a little bit of effort, but because it's long and it's the polymer, you can kind of move it. But I couldn't fit on that die that last word of all, and I was trying to see how I liked it, but I didn't. This is my first effort. Here's what I have. Like I said, this is my first effort making these dimensional poinsettias, and I'm going to show you how I made these. But the rest of this finished off just like the sketch made. I followed the sketch pretty closely. This is all from Queen & Company's Foundation Set 7. And the circle, the white circle, I just punched out of a 1 3/4 punch from Stampin' Up. Pretty much anything that you could find that would fit in there. And that's just glued together. So here's how I made the flowers. This was from some Poly Paper Studio, I think is her name. She was using the Spellbinder Cinch and Go. I'm missing the large one because I'm cutting some more leaves out. But the trick to what I found with this was I took and I cut the 2 smallest sized, and I used Tim Holtz Distressed Ink in the warm lipstick color. And I found this was nice because it was a little bit lighter pink than this Strawberry Slush paper. And I used this brush so that I could get it more on the edge. I was trying to leave the centers of this white to give me a little bit more of a different texture, a different look. If you ever look at poinsettias, their leaves are rather splotchy. It looks like somebody just like spritz paint on it sometimes. It's really quite novel. So there are some different variations they're coming up with now. There is a white, and if you ever look, it's not really a pure white anyway. So this was just like all I did to get the color on. I did the same with the leaves. I used the same size for leaves because the poinsettia is really the green leaves are the same leaf as the colored leaf. And that one I did with Forest Moss of Tim Holtz's Distressed Inks. And this paper is one that I got from, it's Hobby Lobby's extra heavyweight white cardstock. And I buy it for my card bases, and it's a really heavy paper. This was the heaviest I could find, but if you look, the ink is really kind of splotchy. I don't know if you can kind of see that, but when it dries, it will dry and kind of soak into the paper. So it takes a little bit of time for that to soak in. So I found, like I said, that this Polly's Paper Studios was making these. I did the same with the green leaves, and then I just cut them in on the angle to the center, and I got myself some loose leaves. And she does these where she folds them, and where she will also you kind of roll the leaves. I know Heartfelt Creations does a lot of like the rolling, and then you push it in the opposite direction. You can kind of watch that online. I thought this just looked better in this pointed look. And how I found the sequence of this going was to put this in the center and line up the holes and kind of let that hold. And then the leaves, I found that 3 worked best. Here's some of my final ones over here. And I don't put them on to go in the same direction. I want them to kind of go a little bit at a different, like if you kind of notice that it's kind of pointed down, it's not going straight. And I just do 1 on one side, and I try to do like 2 on the other. Just to go in between these leaves and give it, and I don't have them sticking out as deep either. Oh my god, my cats are down here. Yes, yes, yes. So that's kind of how I did those, and it doesn't take long for this Barely Art glue to set up. And I'll pinch these back again at some point. They're going to get flattened out. I just wanted them creased for right now. Then I just used, I don't even know what size this is. This is just some cheapy hole punch I bought. Just to open that hole up a little bit more. She uses one of those chompers, but I couldn't find that I could line that up as accurately. Then I used 3 of these pearl stamens. These were ones I bought in the baking section of Hobby Lobby. And I'm going to be honest, this was the part that really kind of threw me. The first get-go, I went and I put the stuff on the edges, and I'll tell you about that in a minute. And then I wound up taking half of it off, putting the stamens in. So, the stamens seem to be my area of frustration, because I like them to be, first of all, I'd rather they were in odd numbers, and I can't get them, and I would like them to be very tight. So they kind of want to loosen up when you put them through the back. And I also cut this so, because if they're not evenly distributed, they kind of bulk up in the back, and then you have where you can't really get it tight to the card. So I was putting down some of the red line glue and pulling half of them, which is 3, to one side. And I'm not really concerned about the length of the stamens on this side. I can trim them back. It's nice, there's no wire in these, so you're not really doling your scissors up if you have to cut them. And this was also, the red line helped me keep that green leaf on. I gotta get this off. Alright, so I was trying to keep this like pressed on the surface of the table so that those stayed. And there we go. These actually were trimmed very closely. There is a little bit of them showing, so I'll just trim some of them off. But they're not, the rest of them are showing. And then I'll just put some more red line and kind of seal them in place. You can kind of pop these up a little bit, but they will get pushed back. So I'm going to just leave that there now to hold everything in place. Now I'm going to push these back up. And the nice thing, I didn't do the green leaves. I let them more flat because I want to hide some of where this isn't going to lay flat. So here's my my big getting the icicle stuff on, is I use the Barely Art glue, and this fine tip is really nice to just get along the tips of these flowers. And I do like 3 or 4, and then I put the glittery micro beads on, because this Barely Art glue will dry very, very quickly. So what I'm using is Recollections clear micro beads, and I liked these because it really looked like it had like an icy effect. I wasn't needing any like glitz, because this card has got a lot of foil already on it. I didn't really need much in the way of glitz and glimmer. So this was nice because it gave me a an icy effect, and the Barely Art glue will dry clear, so all you're going to see is that lovely, like I said, iced effect. And I did have, when I was doing this before, where I put my tweezers on the underside so I couldn't miss it. But anyway, I gotta kind of poke it because it's going to stick to these, anything with exposed glue, and then you just let it set aside. And when it's done, like I said, here's well, this one has a little bit of a, if there's a glob like this, you can just kind of pull some of them off. That's how they look finished. And then I'm going to glue them all on, and I'll have to find something for my sentiment, and then I will finish this card off. So here's the finished card. I went with a sentiment that was a Recollections one, and I just did a second banner behind it to give it some distinguish. It was blending in. And I don't know if you can see, I did a few of the clear drops from Studio Cadia, and that was my card. So I hope you like it, and I'll have more from this paper series coming up. I'm just going to do them individually instead of trying to do one big long video. I figured we'll give that a try. So I have card 2 coming up very soon. Well, what I should have said is I got 12 cards out of this. I don't know if I had gave you a count. So I got 12 out of this piece of paper. There was 2 sheets, and so I got 6 out of each one. So I hope you enjoyed the series. If you are inspired, I'd like to see what you do with the paper, and love to see you in the future. So if you want to subscribe, you can hit the subscribe button, and that'll give you what the next card in the series gets loaded. Have a nice day. Bye.